Hello and welcome. Well, this is my next big project. This is a HARDINGE CATARACT lathe. I don't know a lot about it. I'm going to build a stand for it and restore it and see where it goes from there. I was going to build the stand first, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with the drive on it. And that would dictate how I'm going to build the drive. I think I got a pretty good plan on the drive. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. This particular model has ways on the top and on the back. And that back right there, from what I understand, and I haven't seen one I've seen pictures, but not very good pictures, of a threading attachment that goes back here. And I'm afraid whatever drive I put on there is going to interfere with any attachments I put on here. So I plan on making another step pulley right here and a V-belt drive underneath the table. I've got some space limitations and I want to keep it fairly compact. I've got a few parts in there. Steady rest, another cross slide, or saddle assembly, or chuck, 4-jaw chuck. But the one thing this lathe really needs is a good tailstock. One of my viewers told me about a guy in North Carolina that was really into HARDINGE lathes, and he cured this problem in a way. He gave me a turret tailstock. And again, I don't know much about it, but here it is. And from what I understand, somebody made this part of it, so I'm going to have to remake this. There's some limited number of positions. It's 3, and they're kind of offset in a weird way. I don't know, maybe I can get this working too. But everything's there, I guess, except for this being handmade. I may have to, like I said, I may have to make a new one of those. But I haven't begun to figure out how the thing works. But it's not only will it be useful on this lathe, it'll replace a needed tailstock, because the tailstock I got is in really, really bad shape. And pretty flimsy too. I mean, it's not beyond repair, but pretty close to it. Something I noticed right off, some of these parts have been made for this turret. Don't know how that comes out. This one pin I got out, the pin from the turret tailstock doesn't fit in the slide there. But this is handmade. Somebody's made that. I can't get this pin out for some reason here. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that this fit. It fits perfect. So I think it is for this lathe, but for some reason this lockdown was not made right to fit this lathe. That's probably a fairly minor thing. We'll get this working right. For now, we're going to start cleaning up this lathe and taking it apart and see what we got. Okay, first thing we're going to do is concentrate on this thing. I don't know if that's an oil or a lock for the pulley. This is really interesting. I've had this cap off before. That's like a felt oil for oil. And there's a screw down here. And this right here is I believe a bushing that works like a collet. But I've not had it out yet, so this is we're going to find out how it works right now. It's got an adjustment screw underneath here, which is all the way out now. Isn't that something? There's the screw that adjusts it. and tighter. It's got another felt right there. I don't want to lose that. Oil felt. Very interesting. I assume this works exactly the same. Not quite. It's not got a screw in it. No, I was mistaken. It does have a screw. It's just hard to see. Got a feeling this has to come off so it can all go out the front. Well, let's see. Oh, there's another screw here. I'd say we're onto something there. It probably holds the pulley. Aha. This ring right here may have something to do with that. Or it may just be a little tight. But that ring comes off. This ring is also an indexer, but it's got some little openings here. I don't know what they do. I thought maybe they were like peened over, but that's this thing that was hitting those screws, which is going to make those difficult to get out. I wish I could get this spindle out without taking that off. Take this off and see if we can see something. I don't think that did anything. It did hold that indexing ring on. I think I'm going to make a new one of those. Oh, it's moving. It is. Pulley just tight on that shaft. Still moving fairly easy. It's moving. Here we go. Got it out. Isn't that something? Well, I'm not sure how that comes out of there. Maybe it's just got crud holding it in there. I think that's it. Just crud. a thrust bearing. Wow. Well, I'd say that's a milestone there. I'm not going to clean these much. They got felts in them. I think they're okay just the way they are. Same with that. Well, there it is, fairly well cleaned up. I ran out of paint remover. It's got about 3 coats of paint on it. I got the green off of it. But this gray paint, I believe, has got lead in it. I'm going to treat it like it's all got lead in it. And not going to sand it, I'm going to use paint remover on it. But that about wraps it up for today. But let me show you what's in store. I'm going to build a stand for this, and I'm going to put a 3-phase motor on it. There's a 3/4 horse 3-phase motor, which is probably a little overpowered for this lathe. And I got that VFD on Amazon. It converts 110 volt to 220 volt and runs that motor beautifully. I really like that idea because you can make it variable speed and not use up another 220 circuit when it's not needed. 3/4 horsepower doesn't need a 220 circuit. Here's the stand I'm going to build for this lathe. This will probably be third episode of this restoration. This side will be a cabinet, and it'll have the like an underdrive with a motor in there. Maybe 3 or 4 drawers on this side. Probably put those self-leveling casters on there from Vever too. Next week's episode, I'll probably have all the paint stripped off it, and we'll paint it and start assembling. Anyway, that about wraps it up for today. Thanks for joining me. Be sure and subscribe and ring that bell.